this is Herschel Savage, and you're watching along with me, Debbie Does Dallas. You might not know I was in this movie. It's over 32 years ago. My name is not on the credits. I don't even know if I was Herschel Savage back then. But to this day, my name does not appear on the box or in the credits. And in case you were wondering, I am in this movie, one of the classic porn titles of all time.
I'm so proud of you. When are you leaving?
The year was 1977, bicentennial. It's a great time. I was a young guy, just starting in porn. I was maybe in the business about 6-7 months. This location right here, I helped to secure. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and we knew somebody on the inside of Brooklyn College who allowed us to get inside the facility. And of course, we were able to just like surreptitiously hit the field with camera equipment and shoot this horrible pickup game of football. Most of the guys in this scene were personal friends of mine who had nothing to do with the porn industry. As a matter of fact, later on you'll see in a shower scene, my friend with long hippie-like hair, he became a top heart surgeon later on. This might be his claim to fame, despite all the successful heart surgeries he's performed. These were the girls of the day. Bambi Woods, who unfortunately I never did get to work with, and based on the time and the available talent, she was certainly someone we would consider a real looker. Okay. Jim Clark, the director and producer, was somebody who came out of the legitimate commercial world. Not a very happy guy. Seemed to drink a lot. Never seemed happy, but I guess he got a good amount of money to get this going.
Why don't we all work hard
and
to raise money so we can
we
go to
went from
Texas
there.
with them?
This is a facility inside Brooklyn College. Had we been caught, we probably would have been arrested, but we took advantage of where we were going. And for the time, I mean, these girls were hot. I mean, it was like, just imagine being someone in their early 20s who led a pretty normal existence, and all of a sudden you have access to girls and sex for pay. It was really unbelievable at the time. I'll point out some of the girls that were...
Maybe I could talk the hard into a job at the
I actually dated that girl for a while. I can't remember her name, but she was a psycho. She really was. That relationship didn't last long. There's enough drama in life. I'm going to point out that there's this one girl, this beautiful redhead. This girl was also really adorable. I mean, just imagine for the time, 1977, you watching these girls naked in the shower. This was exciting stuff back then if you were starting to watch porn for the first time. This girl right here, I was crazy about this girl. I mean, as you can see, no one shaved back then. I don't believe they invented razors till 1985 or something like that. But that redhead right there, she was really, really sexy woman. One thing I noticed about her, despite how hot she was, she had barely visible razor blade marks on her wrists, which meant that not only was she suicidal, but incredibly fucking hot. Because if you get a chick that's going to commit suicide, you know she's going to be good in bed. That's guaranteed.
Yeah. So what happened?
This girl right here, Arcadia Lake, she was dating Eric Edwards for a while. That's not Eric Edwards,
Well, you're
but
cute. You can't blame the guy
Arcadia
for
is
trying.
one of those girls that got away from me. She actually died of a drug overdose about 10 years later.
And I need the money more now.
She was fucking hot,
Big
this
check in
girl,
the
man.
week,
You
work
could
something out.
just feel it through every pore in this girl's body. I was dying to work with her, but sometimes
How about later today?
you could be one of the top guys in the industry and it just never comes together where you have to work with somebody. And that girl was that. And here comes, now, here's an interesting sidelight. The man behind the counter,
Mr. Greenville, can I have the job? Can I have the job?
listed as Richard Balla. He actually went as Richard Bola. He was a a theatrical actor in New York. This is the guy that actually helped me get into pornography. This is like 1976. I was dating this girl, and I was having some trouble getting work as an actor. And she said, "You should talk to one of my friends. Her boyfriend is in the porn industry." I don't even think she used the word porn industry. I don't even know what the hell it was called at that point. Anyway, I called the guy up, and he says, yeah, you got to call this woman. Her name was Dorothy Palmer. She was a legitimate theatrical agent on 57th Street in Manhattan. It's like a legitimate agency. So I went on my merry way to 57th Street, went up to and here was this woman in like mid to late 50s with garter belts, a wig, almost like Baby Jane-ish. Sick, man. And of course she needed to take a Polaroid of my dick. Now here I am at 23 fucking years old, pulling my dick out. I'm a straight guy. I mean, I had a pretty normal life, you know. So I pull my underwear down, and I'm very embarrassed. She takes the picture, and she's got this big smile on her face. And believe me, I wasn't hard when she took the picture. I mean, just looking at her was a nightmare. From there, I started getting work in small little sex scenes called loops, which were no sound. You'd show up, shoot the thing in 20 to 30 minutes, you get $50, get off, and go home. It was a lot of fun, it really was. I mean, there was like no responsibility. You'd meet the girl on the set, shake her hand, and just start fucking her. It was so fucking hot for a 20-year-old. It was like a fantasy that was just unbelievable. It really was, so.
When should I start?
This Eric Edwards in his prime. Eric, as you can see, is a strikingly handsome man who attempted to break through in the legitimate modeling world, but for some reason, I guess he backed off when he had some problems, and he sort of gave up his dream. But I remember he was big in the industry when I started. Here's some of my buddies playing bad football.
Lisa, don't you ever wear underpants?
Oh, I just like to feel free. It's nice to feel the clothes against your skin. It's bad enough we have to
There
wear
she
it now.
is.
We should walk around like the way we came into this world.
Unfortunately, later on, I found out that she was dating a mob guy. So despite her razor blade marks, I stayed away. I figured it would,
Well, I got something done.
being killed is worse than her killing herself, you know.
And he promised to do anything he
Here's
can.
Bambi. Look how hot she was, man. I mean,
Yeah, I got
now
to
here's
know.
this girl, Merle Michaels.
Library.
This was one of the top girls in the industry from the mid '70s to about the late
Me and Annie
'70s.
got a job.
There were so few girls in the industry. I literally had to fuck this girl 100 fucking times in like over the course of those years. Now, despite the fact that facially she's not really that attractive, she was amazing. Here I am. Look at me in my young studhood, 24 years old. That's my friend Charlie to my left, and my friend Alan all the way to the left. He actually is a heart surgeon right now in Manhattan. He's a teaching professor in Manhattan. Of course, he didn't perform any sex in the movie, but I got him an extra role in that. Charlie's a musician. He's now a computer tech.
Look, they think they can boost
And,
morale if they go with her. After all, she's so
I don't even
far
know
away
if this
from
was
home and all.
scripted or it was. I guess it was.
Not morale that I am
There's the big '70s hair right there,
Hey, look, man. Your girlfriend's dead.
with my Don Juan mustache.
Why'd you talk to
Unbelievable.
her and tell her to think about us for a change, all right? Give it a try. Come on, now let's play ball, all right?
Look at that 3-point stance. If you didn't know it, I'm about to take a dick in the ass right there. It's unbelievable. There's somebody with some speed. And here we are back in the locker room. For those of you who don't know why Debbie Does Dallas became such a phenomenon, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders broke really big just before this. So to capitalize on the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, who were huge, I mean, the calendar sold millions of copies. When this came out with that title, it was a brilliant stroke. I mean, because it just was like, you know, the morons in the audience figure they're going to see Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders fucking on film. Now this guy right here, with the long hair to my left right there, this guy is a major heart surgeon in the Boston area right now. Strangely enough, this guy's in medical school at the time, and he chose to be a part of this. It was like so crazy. I think in his own mind, you have to imagine that a guy that probably led a normal life, I don't know what happened to him, kids, whatever. He'll never forget this moment. It's unbelievable. I mean, you look at the girls of the time. I mean, no one's working out, no one's got that solid a body and stuff, but for the time, I mean, these girls are great. Now they're like so toned. This is my psycho razor blade girl. Love this girl. I think I'm in a Japanese spa washing her. It's unbelievable. That's the last time I tried that move. I'm too old to do that right now. It's so nice seeing the quality of film as opposed to video. I mean, it's just like it's a different feel. You know what I mean? Another generation. But strangely enough, blowjobs were just as good then as they are now. Maybe they're a little better now. You know, when you're young and you're getting blown and fucked all the time, you tend to take it for granted. Later on, when it slows up a little bit, you start to realize this is fucking great. It's unbelievable. That girl actually looks like she's enjoying it. You never want them to have a look of nausea on their face when they're sucking your dick. You definitely don't want that. This is the famous shower scene. Brooklyn College. There's such a difference now in the way they shoot hardcore as opposed to back then. This is actually pretty graphic. I mean, if you look at a lot of the films from the 70s and 80s, you don't really see a lot of, you see a little bit of penetration. This is actually a long shot of his dick going in his pussy. But a lot of the films, you don't see that much hardcore. I mean, it's there, but, And then, of course, half of it's blocked by pubic hair, so... Keep in mind that this shower floor was incredibly cold, so it wasn't the most comfortable situation if you weren't young and strong and wanted to do that. I remember this guy on the bottom, his name is David Morris. He was a big pot dealer in the industry. He always had top pot. I don't know what he was saying back then.
I'm with you.
Believe me, I was thrilled to be with this girl right here. She was so sexy. Love redheads anyway. She's a beautiful girl, she really was. I would have loved to see her again. That's great. The first time you enter a chick like this, man. Never been with her before. No one shaved back then. don't. I didn't even have a conception of spanking a girl's ass at that point. I mean, that was the perfect moment to spank her ass, and who the hell knew? She had a perfectly white ass. I could have had my hand mark on her ass, but you know, everything was very nice. She was sexy, very sexy. My God. Last time I came like that was, I believe, 32 years ago. Here's my heart surgeon friend. Went on to have a great career. This guy was a brilliant guy. I mean, just the fact that he was that much of a freak to appear in a movie like this, with the potential risk of ruining his career. Got to take your hat off to this guy. I mean, he's one of the all-time classic porn films in history. This is great. I already fucked her and they're blowing me again. I mean, you know, that's not a bad fucking day, really. As long as he doesn't start blowing me. Here he is, the heart surgeon. Unbelievable. This is a 1970s three-way. No one's doing anything. I'm surprised I'm not taking a nap here. It's unreal. This guy is in all his glory, fucking this red-headed girl. Some sexy shit. Look at that cesarean section scar. They were so brutal to surgeons back then. That was pathetic. This actually might be the happiest day of this guy's life right here. Even more than getting his medical degree. You have to think, you know? Really, I'm actually, you know, I haven't seen Debbie Does Dallas in quite a while, and I'm actually shocked at how much hardcore footage there really is in this movie. Because really, 70s and 80s, you know, it just wasn't that much. You know? That guy, obviously, this was his first sex scene, the heart surgeon, so he didn't know he was supposed to pull it out and come, you know. A lot of mistakes back then. This girl's hot. She's got a beautiful face. You know, when I started out in the industry, I was so taken with the pleasure of being alone or anything that a lot of times my head would go back, and in real life I would just moan like this. And then I'd work with a few directors later down the line and said, Herschel, we need more. I said, what do you mean we need more, man? You can't see the pleasure on my face. They're going, we need more. You know, they wanted me to overact the pleasure, which was really fucking annoying to me, but I eventually got the technique and did it, you know, so I could come really dramatically, you know, and then they'd say, great, great. So that's 2 cum shots I pulled off in one scene. That is unbelievable. God, it's good to be young. It's good to be old. This girl. I shot her right in the eye. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Poor baby. That's right, baby. Rub my cock in your arm. Sexy fuck. This sexy girl. Look at that tongue. That fucking tongue and that red hair. Who wouldn't want to fuck this girl? Come on. Dude. Jesus Christ. I'm not even going soft with this girl. Yeah, I never forgot this girl. Said something like a 3-year-old girl. Really wanted to date that girl. That pretty face. Almost like Anne Margaretish. Sorry, Anne. She's a cute girl. That beautiful face. Fuck. And you could tell she digs it. Here we are. Fucking Bambi. What a fucking disappointment that nobody else fucked her in this movie. I wanted to have Richard Bola killed. I must say one thing about Debbie Does Dallas as a working piece. The titillation factor of him wanting to fuck her the whole fucking movie and it finally happens at the end, that was hot. I mean, I didn't want to see him fucking her, but the fact that he finally does was great. Look at the hair on this guy.
Oh, Mr. Greenfield, you're so strong.
She just had like this nasty, dirty, trashy blonde look.
Yes,
Debbie
that's the
was
one.
just a sexy bitch.
Oh, let me help you.
No, please, it's all right.
Come on. I'm sorry.
Good.
One of the hottest girls of all time,
875.
Arcadia Lake, right there.
What
Look
time
at
is
this.
it?
Who the
Mr.
hell wears
Greenfield?
Lee jeans anymore?
5:30, Debbie.
Unbelievable.
Oh, so that
And
means
yet
I
they
can
still
go
exist.
home now.
Yes, I locked all the doors.
Oh, Mr. Greenfield, I've been working here 3 days, and we still haven't worked on the stockroom, and I really need the extra money.
I guarantee you,
Are
the
jobs
male lead here,
that
Richard
girls can do to make a
Bola,
lot of money.
he was in love when he saw her. I'll tell you, he was thrilled that he was going to get to work with her. He was strutting around the fucking set like a peacock.
What kind of
Psycho
favors,
bastard.
Mr. Greenfield?
Oh, well, I was thinking you could, I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, I'll give you $10 if you let me look at your tits.
Mr. Greenfield!
Please, I just
What
want
was
to look
she
at your
like?
pretty little tits.
You know we're all good girls.
Oh, I know that. But I still want to look at your tits, please. $10. $10. Just for a look.
$10?
$10.
What a nice guy. Turn her into a hooker.
All
Right in the fucking sporting goods section. Nice. It's all about her.
Mr. Greenfield, you promised!
I remember the first time I saw Debbie Does Dallas, and she showed her tits to him.
Just let me touch
It was sexy.
Please.
I just thought it was sexy.
Hey, please. $10 more.
I mean, because you'd never seen this girl before. She was like brand new on the scene,
Okay? Just a little bit.
and she
I think that's going
she didn't do much else after this. I can guarantee you that. That was her claim to fame. But
Really?
she's an icon in the history of porn for this movie. There's no doubt.
Promise.
I promise. Please.
Well, okay.
Those natural tits.
You
So
promised.
rare to see natural tits today.
Just let me suck, please. Just a little suck.
I'm always thrilled to feel a real
we
breast.
are going a little bit too far.
I'll give you another
Actually, I'm
$10,
thrilled to feel
please.
any breast at this point.
Well, would you give me $20 for that?
I'll give you $20. It's in my pocket. Take it, please. Please. I just want to suck them a little bit. No.
Okay.
Okay, please.
Mr. Greenfield, this is going a little too far. It's a lot too far. If you don't stop right this minute, I'm going to tell my mother.
Well, girls, you're certainly not earning enough
Here we
money.
are, back in the locker room.
Yeah, and it's not as if we're working hard enough for it. Just avoiding Mr. Hardwick's
70s porn chicks. That was it, baby.
I don't know what Nick has in
And we were happy to be with him because there was nothing else. I remember working in the early days. I would show up on set, and almost every girl in the film or loop that I did had a wig on. They were all trying to break through as Broadway actresses, so they would disguise themselves with heavy makeup and wigs. It just created a sleaze factor that was second to none. It was so great. Just to see the shame was beautiful. Anytime you could bring shame into porn, you got something hot.
Goodness, Debbie. That's about
You don't want well-adjusted people in porn ever.
Well, what are you doing that we're not? This.
Yeah, that's right. Show your tits off again, baby.
Debbie,
I think she shows her tits off about 41 times in this movie.
You know, all you do
I'm
is
just
shake your
joking.
tits and you make all that money.
I mean, she's got cute tits. I mean, she's a real blonde, man. And where'd she come up with that name, Babby Woods? That is a hot fucking name, man.
Of course, he was desperate for it. Kept offering
That is
me
a
money
great
to go
name.
further.
One
But
of
I
the classic
drew the
porn
line
names
at
of all
certain
time.
points.
I don't know, Debbie. How do you keep things from getting any further?
Look how he frames this shot.
I can just Mr.
He couldn't do
Harvey
anything
said,
more creative because he had such limited space. He has 3 girls up against one side, 3 girls up against the other. It's pretty funny shit.
And we don't have to do anything more than what we do with our boyfriends. And they certainly have fun, don't they? And we're all still virgins, aren't we?
Well, most of us are.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I was just wondering.
Look how rich the
if
colors are.
Foster and someone's
Just love that
boyfriend
film
went
look.
to the locker room after we left.
Well, it doesn't matter to us what she does with her boyfriend. To us, she's still a virgin. Anyway, she could probably give us some good advice. Well, listen, if we're really serious about
Wow.
this, then let's be honest
I'm
with
trying to
each other.
remember how old
We
she
all do
was at
things
that
with our
point. Bambi
boyfriends,
was
and we don't go all the
probably
way.
21.
Exactly. And
I mean,
there
that
are
was
men
young
willing to
for the
pay
industry
that
back
fun
then,
on
would be
our terms.
21. You almost never saw an 18-year-old in the industry back then. Now,
What you will do, and what
second
you
they
won't
turn 18, they're in an
Exactly.
agent's office
Now
making
I think
money.
we should get down to business. Before I go any further, does everyone agree with this method of making extra money?
Sure.
Yeah, it's fine.
Tammy?
I
Every
guess
girl
so, but
here
what
I
else does she
fucked except
All right.
that
well,
one,
now what about
Arcadia
some
Lake.
techniques?
I don't know any techniques.
Look, I know that
I mean, there
each
was
one
only
of us
about
has something
maybe
special
10
to offer
regular
that
working
none of
guys
us
in the
do.
industry at this point. So
Yeah,
if you
your
were a good
boyfriend
performer,
seems really happy
you
that
were
I'm
hired.
still a
Yeah,
virgin, so
that was
what's the
it.
secret?
I'll tell you. Okay. Who's got a banana?
I do.
This girl hated what she did. She didn't love it. But she was sexy looking, very sexy looking. I remember working with her one time. She had a disgusted look on her face. That always makes you feel good.
Hello? Oh, Tom. You fuck. You know you're not supposed to call me on this phone. It's a private line. I know. It's been a long time. I miss you too. Job is okay. The hard works are really nice. I miss you too, baby. Yeah. I'll meet you at dance class.
You know, all in all, even though they did the remake of Debbie Does Dallas,
No,
I still think this holds up in a way that the new one just can't. This is like classic.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just, you know, it's raw.
See you there tomorrow. Bye.
You know, throughout the years of my industry, meeting people that are fans, connoisseurs of porn, everyone knows Debbie Does Dallas. It's Debbie Does Dallas and Deep Throat, and a few Marilyn Chambers. But Debbie Does Dallas, title-wise, stands out as It'll Never Die. Never. I mean, if you want to see classic porn that's actually interesting, you'll check out Debbie Does Dallas. You won't watch Deep Throat because Deep Throat's a piece of shit. Can you imagine no one did Brazilian trims back in the 70s? What the fuck? They were doing it in Brazil. I mean, I'm assuming that if any of these girls had shaved at this point, they would have worked 5 times as much. I mean, it certainly would have been a novelty. To be honest, I was very happy when people started trimming. Just a cleaner look. Get in there. I mean, because of the porn industry, you have to believe that most women today trim their bushes because it just looks better, and they had to have some example to be used, and the porn industry created that example. I mean, you know, there's some natural girls that have armpit hair and everything else, but you're rarely going to see a hot girl pull off her panties and you're going to see a full bush.
Well, what have we here? This is what we're paying you for?
It's Hardwick.
Nice.
Roberta, no. Roberta, it's fine, Roberta. Oh, don't worry, Roberta. I'm sorry. I was only kidding.
Robin Bird.
It's fine, Roberta. Just sit down.
Look at that.
It's quite all right.
I go way back with
I'm
Robin
sorry.
Bird.
I'm really sorry. That's quite all right, Roberta.
She was a horny
Roberta,
bitch.
it's
She
quite
still
all right.
is.
Let's sit and talk for a minute.
She always loved being a part of this. She really did. Whether it be doing on-the-scene interviews, television, cable show in Manhattan.
It's gonna be fine.
Mrs. Hardwick, what are you doing?
She loved to be a part of this. She really
We all
did.
have our own thing.
I'm gonna go after that girl, man. She loved those girls.
I like it when
Mr.
Hardwick.
When Mr. Hardwick is.
I ran into her at a
What?
convention a while
Am I
ago. She
interrupting
actually
something?
looked pretty decent.
Let me
Yeah.
interrupt anyway.
Oh,
sit down.
Roberta.
Go away. Go away.
Hey.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Hardwick.
Now,
Roberta, remember I talked about that.
Eric Edwards, one of the top guys of the time.
Special job.
Unfortunately, has severe health problems right now. He had a really tough turn in his life.
Didn't know that's what you
I saw him
said.
recently at the Henri Pichard's memorial service,
Earn you a lot of money. Pay quite well.
and it was good to see him.
all you have to do is watch.
That's right.
You'll understand.
I mean, you take a look at a guy like Eric Edwards. I mean, this guy's got a perfect physique, great face. You wonder why he didn't try to pursue straight modeling and acting more. He probably could have done it, unless the freak factor just took over and he just couldn't get away from the obvious pleasures of this world.
She wet?
Oh, she's so wet. Are you ready, Roberta? I think she's ready.
What a nice shot. Hanging out with the young girl. Mom's playing with her pussy while you're jerking off to her. Nice. Yeah, no fucking foreplay. Just stick it right in, baby. See, that's a 70s porn shot right there. Now you'd have to be like squatting over her with your legs up in the air so you could see every single millimeter of cock going in the pussy. This girl's actually has a beautiful face. I mean, for the time, definitely a top girl. There were so few available girls back in the 70s that, I mean, you just had to work with people multiple times. So when somebody new came in, it was amazing. It was like, you know, it was like the vultures circling the cattle, you know. See this shot, the way it's framed right here, you can see the difference between that porn and porn today. This would be unacceptable shot for today's porn. There's just not enough happening. Not enough, you know. I mean, to me, it's fine. But, you know, everything has to be so graphic and out there right now that it's like, you know, this would be... Well, it seems like no one set themselves up for cup shots back then. I mean, I already saw two that almost were like mistaken pop shots. I mean, that was like bottom line. If you were a performer, you had to be, you know. But I guess they didn't have it down at that point.
We gotta try.
You know, if you're hired as a male performer, you're not only expected to perform, but you're expected to come on cue. I mean, when they want your pop shot, it's got to be there. So you can't just be, oh, I'm coming, you know. Nothing worse than that. Shoot her now a scene and then you lose the
Sure, I know where the stuff is.
ejaculate.
I don't know. Hey, get out. Come on, get to work. You work on that side, I'll do the other side. Oh, all right.
That was a nice car back then.
Let's get this car done quick before Mr. Bradley gets home.
That looks like a 72 or 73 Mercedes 280.
Well, Debbie said they all want it. I know Mr. Bradley.
Now look at this girl. I don't even remember this girl.
Debbie can get
She was probably in the business for 5 minutes and stuff.
Well, at least between the two of us, we ought to be able to. Okay, I'm gonna hose it down. All right, good.
And now I'm trying to figure. Now, of course, I wasn't in this scene. I'm trying to figure what neighborhood they picked for this one. They might have went to the outer boroughs, Brooklyn or Queens. This is definitely a New York movie. There's no question about it.
Oh, you're getting me all wet again. Oh. Oh.
That was some shot in the face right there.
Oh, no, stop. Come on.
This was in the middle of summer, so you can imagine the humidity in New York at the time. This was shot in July of '77, so you got to figure it was 95 degrees with 98% humidity. It almost looks like it's going to rain there, like a monsoon.
And dry off, huh?
Okay, we're gonna change your clothes. Thanks. It's right here.
Yeah, well, I think you ought to, I'm sorry.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Bradley.
No, it's all right. Why don't you go in and change? I think you're really soaking wet. Why don't you go upstairs and change?
Not to be mean in any way, but if you look at the industry today, I mean, these girls,
Yes, there is.
they wouldn't even be B players. They wouldn't even be able to do a scene. They'd maybe get some amateur work, and that would be about it. They just wouldn't make the cut.
Cars anymore.
Well, I really don't think you'd be into what I have in mind.
You'd be surprised at what we're into, Mr. Bradley.
You're serious, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Oh, very serious.
How can I be sure you aren't going to tell anybody?
We wouldn't tell anybody, Mr. Bradley, would we, Annie? This is between you and us.
If I ask you to undress, how much would it cost me?
$10.
I mean, could you imagine the chance of catching two young girls soaping themselves up around your car, showing up in the house, and actually having a chance to fuck them in your living room? What would that be, like 1 in a million? So just the fact that the unlikelihood of being with two young girls makes this a hot scene. Remember, this was like from right after the late '60s. This, my generation really was the first to practice the sexual revolution. This was like we were at the forefront of this, because everything became free love in the late '60s, and the porn industry really developed largely out of that, because you know people were freer about sharing their bodies. It wasn't so much of a taboo. I mean, you weren't necessarily considered a slut if you fucked anymore. I mean, you were, but that was great.
I'll give you $25 if you let me kiss you all over.
Yeah, that'd be fun, Mr. Bradley.
I mean, really all over.
That's okay.
I love the '70s colors there. Look at that orange couch. That's so kitschy. I mean, you just don't see that now, unless you're going for a '70s look. Look at the shag rug. This is a time capsule of the 1970s right here. Just the colors.
Feels so good. Oh, you don't know what you're doing to me. Oh, you drive me crazy. So wet.
She had a beautiful face, the girl on the left. She really did. Very exotic. I love when girls run their fingers through my hair. Just brings a little level of intimacy that not normally there. You know, believe it or not, it's not that easy to be dealing with four tits. I mean, every guy's fantasy is to be in a three-way and everything. But you know what? If you even like the women, you have to worry, am I taking care of this one? Am I taking care of that one? Some guys just want to fuck and don't care about the girl. But to me, it's like a little extra pressure where I have to worry about two different people. You know, one-on-one for me. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Having 3-4 women at the same time, being serviced by them is amazing. But, you know, for intimate purposes and just to really be able to enjoy yourself, one-on-one is still the best. Unless, of course, you're watching two girls get it on, 3 girls get it on. That's always a good masturbatory opportunity. This guy's been licking these girls now for 14 minutes. His clothes are still on. Can you imagine seeing a porn scene today where the guy wasn't completely naked in 14 seconds? I mean, you would never wear the shirt he's wearing in a video today because it would just start bleeding the stripes. Only on film could you get away with that clarity.
I feel so frustrated.
So just for your own personal information, when you're shooting a movie like this, which is a 16 millimeter film, you're dealing with a reasonably extensive crew. I mean, so you've got a director of photography, director, assistant camera guy, sound guy. I mean, you're looking at a crew of about 10, 15 people possibly in that room behind them right there. So as intimate as the scene might be, the you know, shooting a film did have its technical challenges. Nothing like a double blowjob. Just imagine closing your eyes and feeling two tongues on your dick, licking it from the head to the balls. It's like the most amazing feeling. Any guy that has the opportunity to experience that is truly a fortunate person. Especially because all the attention is being given to you. And you have no expectations except to have a hard dick. That's great. I'm wondering why he's wearing a shirt. And I finally opened it. You know, another thing about performing in film back in those days, I mean, when you're dealing with today's porn world, I mean, you're dealing with videotape, it's relatively cheap. But when you're dealing with film and film stock and changing the magazines and everything like that, I mean, there's some serious cost involved at the time. So, if you have any kind of issues performing sexually, I mean, that clock is ticking, and you could actually feel that pressure on the set. You could visibly see the director become upset because time was money, and it always was that way, and it always will be that way. But film made it even, you know, more difficult in that respect. So if you had a fuck up on a film, it wasn't the same as a fuck up on a videotape. It had serious consequences, because if you had to add an extra day back then, you're looking at thousands of dollars. I mean, a feature like this, which was shot probably for between 3 to 5 days, I would say had a budget of at least 25 to 30,000. That might be conservative. Pretty girl. Look at those eyelashes. Those are natural.
Oh my God, I think I heard my wife coming.
Yeah, your wife's coming home. Fucking asshole. Get up. Yeah, send them upstairs so when your wife goes to the bedroom, she'll fucking discover. Here comes my big entrance again.
Come on. Wake up. How about seeing me later today? No, we haven't seen each other for almost a week.
Look at that 70s shirt.
I have to work here till 5, and then I have a babysitting job.
No gray hair then.
Donna, this is really crazy. I don't even get a chance to speak to you anymore.
Call me later on tonight.
You know, in seeing the movie, this guy Zebedee Colt, this guy was like a middle-aged porn guy in the 70s. I mean, he was a real freak. And yeah, I did quite a number of films with this guy, and he was just, you know, he's just one of those freaky guys that just like to be a part of this. You know, he was a good actor at the time. But in looking at this movie now, I realized that I probably had more sex scenes than any other guy. I mean, at least 2. I mean, because I've got the library scene coming up with Merle Michaels, and
I understand.
and I had the shower scene, which was great.
Oh, everyone is coming.
I love 70s porn overacting. You know, it's funny, you know, because I trained as a legitimate actor with great teachers in New York as a young man. And when I started doing porn films, I worked with a lot of directors that didn't know what the fuck they were doing and were always asking for more. I mean, Natural Behavior was not, you know, I mean, this is like 76, 77. Isn't this the year that Taxi Driver came out? I mean, look at the fucking acting that Scorsese's bringing out of De Niro and stuff like this. But yet these people wanted you to go over the top. Oh, more, you know. So, I mean, I see a lot of the stuff I did back then, and I realized that I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much, you know. But this was what was encouraged. So you wound up doing more caricature work than actual
You're not supposed to be here.
character
I'm
work.
so desperate for you. I could jump off a bridge.
I can't begin to tell you how hot this girl was, Merle Michaels. She was, I'd say she was one of the top 3 girls in the New York porn industry in the late 70s. She was in everything, but she was so fucking hot. She knew how to fuck. She knew how to do everything. And looks wise, I mean, she's not that great looking, but this girl was hot. This girl knew how to take care of a man.
Baby, you gotta do something. You got the time.
Okay. You want me to show you what my girlfriend
This
showed
might be
me?
one of the most famous library scenes in the history of porn here. Whenever I talk to people, they always remember the library scene. I don't know why.
What have you and your friends been doing, babe?
Oh, wait.
What the hell am I wearing? Red underwear? What the hell is that?
True.
I might have been in a gay bar the night
Four
before.
passes
Fuck.
yesterday. I couldn't take it.
Look at this girl. Look at this girl take a dick. Sexy bitch. Look at that tan line I got there. I actually like that shot. I like the angle of that shot. It's raw. And the fact that I'm wearing glasses makes it a more studious shot, you know? You could actually be a good student and get a blowjob. I like that. Gives hope to the nerds in the world. These were the days before Viagra. Now you see performers in their 20s popping Viagra. You're saying, what the fuck are they doing in the porn industry if they need Viagra in their 20s? Either you dig women or you don't, you know? So, you know, there was no help. You didn't need any help. You either liked it or you didn't. Sad thing was, if Viagra was out when I was in my heyday here in my 20s, I would have probably been stupid enough to take it. Not that I needed it, but, you know, every guy always wants to be better, you know, so you always, you know. God, it's so amazing watching a blowjob from 30 years ago. You just wish you could be feeling the same thing right now. Let's go now. Yeah. Jesus. This girl was a hot bitch. She really was. Look at her squeezing my cock, pulling all the cum out of it. This girl was great. Strangely enough, my cock hasn't aged in 30 years. But there is a portrait in my attic of my dick that looks like it's 150 years old. It's unbelievable. Now this library in Brooklyn College here, this was like, we're up in the rafters here. It was incredibly warm. Remember, we're shooting this in the summer. You could,
I want you to leave immediately. Get out of here this minute.
nice.
Get back here. You report to me to my office.
I like that flop sweat running out the door. Very nice.
Lady, this is outrageous.
If you're gonna get a blowjob, don't be a coward about it.
Right now.
Yes, Mr. Biddle.
I like that scene. I always did.
Just don't tell my parents.
Now he's gonna discipline her for giving me a blowjob. The cocksucker's gonna take advantage of her. It's always good to know that men never change, you know?
I beg you, please don't.
Add insult to injury. That's right, baby. You're on academic review right now. You better suck my dick, baby, or you're out of here.
Wantonly break.
I'm sorry, Mr. Biddle. I didn't mean to break a rule. I swear to God I'll never do it again. Just don't tell my parents.
Your parents should know. They're the ones that deal with this. All right,
She's actually putting it out there acting-wise, man. She's like distressed.
What you need
She's earning her bucks here.
Spanking.
Oh, I don't care. Just don't tell my parents.
Gotta give this girl credit. She always gave 100% at everything she did. She really did.
Come over here.
Here we go. One of the early spanking scenes in the history of porn.
Now, just what is all this about this company you girls have formed?
I wonder what happened to this guy if he's still alive. He was a porn regular.
Good girls.
But that is the weakest spank I've ever seen in my life. Spank that bitch. Fuck.
But I like. Do you mean it? Anything?
Yes, Mr. Biddle, anything.
I love this. They're filming her dialogue from the back so you can't see her face and her. Good shot that they framed right there. I guess there wasn't such a thing as two camera shots anymore.
Pull up your skirt and take down your pants.
I mean, you realize you're on a tight budget under restrictions. You got to get all the shots you can. So they're taking wide shots here. And any normal film, you're gonna get a wide shot, 2 close-ups, a 2-shot. I mean, this scene right here is gonna take like a half a day to shoot. But in the porn world, this is like maybe 2 to 3 hours. So you can see they're not getting, I mean, there's the best coverage you're going to get right there. I'm not putting it down. I mean, based on the restrictions of the time and the place, you had to get it done as fast as you could. The old days, porn was always about speed. You had to get it done as fast as possible. There wasn't enough money to be made for the producer or director.
It's really not a bad idea, this company you girls formed.
God, are we in trouble? What did he say?
But they can't get enough of me in this movie. It's unbelievable.
Okay.
I like the hair, though.
Yeah, he's really an all right guy.
I wonder why he's being so cool about it.
Well, just don't worry about it, Glenn.
Hey, I guess I just don't know human nature.
What do you mean?
There's no underwear, you say?
Yep. She's 16. Pretty.
Look at these guys.
And
Look at the hair on these
definitely
guys.
fight.
This is like
Isn't that sort
unbelievable.
of dangerous?
Don't worry about it, Ashley. We'll work around it.
These could be the worst tennis players in the history of the planet right here.
Oh, here she comes right now. You can see for yourself.
Now, this girl was hot. Very hot.
Here are the towels you wanted. Can I split for the day?
One more thing, Lisa. Thank you very much. Would you get me that clipboard over there by the phone?
Sure thing. Here's your clipboard, Hamilton.
Thanks,
Can I
Lisa.
leave now?
No. Wait. First, I'd like you to meet my friend Ashley. Ashley, Lisa.
How do you do?
Hi, Lisa.
I was telling Ashley about you and your friends and the
Imagine this girl right here. This is like,
Tell me, is there anything
I mean, you gotta have to figure she's
Oh, well,
20
you
years
know, we're
old there.
girls, and I think you know what I
That
mean
means
by
that she's in her
But, you know, whatever we
50s
can
now,
do,
this
we
girl.
make up in enthusiasm.
I can only imagine what she looks like.
Sounds good.
Lisa, Ashley and I will be finished with this game in just a few minutes.
It's
bring us
so
your fresh
crazy
towels,
to
please, in
think
the locker
of
room?
people
Sure thing,
aging
guys.
like that.
Thank
Catch you
very
later.
much. Come on, Ash. You're gonna have one hell of a night tonight, Ashley.
Yeah?
Yeah, what do you say? Let's head for the showers, huh? I tell you, these babes are really something. You gotta see them. 16 years old, built like this.
Sounds good.
Unbelievable. You're gonna like it. You never had anything like it before in your life.
Oh my God.
Don't let it scare you, honey. You'll have the time of your life.
I love a sauna shot. You just gotta love the confined space, the heat, the sweat. This hot little girl. By the way, I want to add that the producer who currently distributes Debbie Does Dallas was kind enough to start reissuing this movie with my name on the box. Since it's like been 32 years, no one ever knew I was in it. It'd be nice to know if people could actually see that I'm there. I mean, the most famous movie I quite possibly ever did, and I'm not in the credits. It's pretty funny, really. It's like Pacino in Godfather 2, they leave his name off the credits, you know. Maybe I'm overstating the case there. Wow, that's a quick blowjob scene. That's unbelievable. That was like 4 minutes.
Oh, Debbie, you look great. Oh. You know, we can't go on like this. It's killing me. I mean, can't we do something more?
But, Mr. Greenfield, we girls promised ourselves that we wouldn't spoil ourselves for our future husbands.
You know, but there are other things you can do that won't spoil you.
Well,
Here we are.
I guess the other girls are going to experience tonight.
Here, we're rolling, Dave.
Look, I don't want the other girls. I want you.
Finally,
I'll make you.
we get to the moment everyone's been waiting
I'll put
for.
up all the money.
Bambi Woods to get laid. Damn it.
I'll also pay for your other girlfriend's hotel expenses. They don't have the money.
Who of us who watched this movie back then
Oh, Mr.
didn't want to be the
Greenfield,
guy
that's
fucking
wonderful.
her?
But what
Bambi fucking Woods. God.
It'll work. Something.
I remember the first time I saw this movie on VHS, and I remember masturbating to this scene.
Hello? Oh,
And I'm not embarrassed to admit it. I mean, she was so sexy, this girl.
Yeah, I did it yesterday. It was a cinch, you know? Real fun. You ought to enjoy it. Oh, come on. You know, don't be scared. It's okay. It really is easy. God. But you know it'll cost for me, too. Do you really think so?
I think it's almost exactly 32 years to the day that
If
we
you're
shot
sure.
this movie. Think of it.
Anything for the old cause. Catch you later, okay? Bye-bye.
How you girls doing today?
The other girls are doing fine.
Here she is, my favorite, Arcadia Lick. Look at that girl.
What about you?
She's like 4'11", 5'1" max. Must have weighed about 95 pounds. Just so sexy, this girl. I mean, if you look at current porn girls, you might not think she's spectacular in any way, but I guarantee you, this girl had heat.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Yeah, Tammy and I are both in the teen services company, and she tells me that you're interested in what we have to offer.
What do you have to offer?
Oh, anything.
You mean you'll do anything I like?
Not anything.
This guy playing the video store
Definitely
guy,
we can work it out. Tammy,
he was around for a little while and then he disappeared. He'd come in and show up. It wasn't like a regular in the industry, but he did quite a few things.
What'll it cost me?
Oh, we'll leave that up to you.
You don't see too much kissing anymore. To me, kissing in porn makes it that much more erotic. This is a hot scene. Arcadia Lake. I mean, it's such a huge industry now, the world of pornography. Back here, it was such a small select group of people that were like working underground. It was almost like avant-garde. I mean, it's not something that was discussed openly. I mean, because it wasn't really what was considered legal. I mean, you just couldn't tell people I'm shooting a porno movie in the Upper West Side of Manhattan. I mean, everything was done on the secret, you know, which gave it that extra nasty flavor. You thought you were doing something like bad, which was good, of course. Always nice when somebody's working your balls while somebody else is working your cock. This is actually a good blowjob shot for the 1970s, really, in my opinion. So there's a guy wearing his Rolling Stone logo around his neck. That was like right around the time of Let It Bleed. Give Me Shelter. This might have been the summer of Altamont. I think it was.
I'm here, dressed as you wanted me.
Debbie, this is Mr.
Here we go,
Greenfield.
Bambi.
Please lock the doors and come up to the mezzanine level.
Everything leads up to her looking like a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, man. This is the money shot right here. I mean, look at this fucking girl. How hot is this girl? It was every guy's dream to fuck a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. And here she was.
Mr. Greenfield! Mr. Greenfield! Mr. Greenfield, where are you?
Debbie,
Mr. Greenfield!
Debbie. Debbie. Debbie.
Mr. Greenfield!
Oh. Debbie.
Mr. Greenfield!
Debbie.
We all dreamed about this moment. Finding the one guy we don't want to fuck her is fucking her. Unbelievable.
But I was too small. But I had one thing that was big enough.
My, Mr. Greenfield, how big
I just
you-
remember thinking to myself after I heard he fucked her. Lucky bastard.
Making love to the
Lucky
captain of the
fucking
cheerleaders.
bastard. I mean, we waited this whole movie to finally see this girl touched. How sexy those tits are. White tits with pink nipples. Sexy bitch. You know, it's funny. I worked for so many directors over the years, and I'd say a good 50% of them, when I was after or during the time I was fucking one of these really hot girls, like a Bambi Woods, they'd always say to me, "So Herschel, how much you paying me for this scene?"
Am I doing all right, Mr. Greenfield?
Oh, yeah.
You stick that cock in your mouth, baby. Look how happy he is. Believe me, he was thrilled. I knew him. He was thrilled to have his cock in her fucking mouth.
Let me take your pants down.
Do it.
I mean, you got to admit that outfit looks great on her. Look at that. This is the Roger Staubach Dallas Cowboy. Look at that body, how cute she is. Perfect white tits. Look at the curve of her back. How sexy is that fucking girl? Look at that. I love that part of a woman's body. The sad part about this whole thing is he has to fuck her on a weight bench. So I don't think he ever really got that comfortable. I would have thrown her on the display case and fucked the shit out of her. I remember when this movie was released in Manhattan. I mean, you know, back in those days, when I first started out, I was shocked to see billboards on 42nd Street, 8th Avenue, with pictures of the people in the cast. It was like a real movie. And I remember when Debbie Does Dallas came out, it was like a huge billboard on Broadway. I don't remember exactly what theater it was in, but it was huge. And Bambi Woods in big letters, man. You just saw this big, beautiful picture of her. And it was almost like shocking to see this fucking hot blonde on a billboard in Manhattan. And you could go in there and see her get fucked. It's fucking sexy shit, man. I remember the first year I was in porn, I did this movie with, it was like a loop. And it was called The Nun's Bad Habit. And the girl I was working with at the time was a very young Sharon Mitchell, who started around the same time as me. She played a nun who had broken her vow, and I play an angel who comes to save her. And I fuck her in her bed, and then I come like stardust. We're gonna see his dick go in for the first time now. Gotta take advantage of that motherfucker. Shit. You were in the prize pussy right there, brother. Anyway, I remember that The Nun's Bad Habit comes out, and there it is on fucking 42nd Street. In big letters, The Nun's Bad Habit. And me, the innocent prick that I was, I invited my sister and her friends to see the movie. I had no conception of what the fuck I was doing. I was mildly retarded, I guess. And I remember going into the theater, and there I was, in a fucking huge screen being projected, my fucking dick that's like now 8 feet long on the fucking, and I was fucking mortified. I was so humiliated, and my sister's like slinking down in the chair, and I'm going, I really am a fucking idiot, you know? Yeah, I was so excited I was in a movie on Broadway, you know, and I never made that mistake again. I didn't talk to my sister for 6 years after that. No, I'm joking. Anyway, this is, I mean, just seeing Bambi Woods get fucked, man, it's like, no matter what you think about Debbie Does Dallas, this movie works on every level, every tease level, and especially because you wait and wait and wait. This really, in many ways, is the ultimate cock tease movie of the early porn genre. Because you wait the whole fucking movie to see this motherfucker get fucked, and you finally do get to see her fuck. I mean, the audience literally gets relief with this scene, and that's why this movie works brilliantly. It really does, and that's why it continues to sell. Now look at that blonde hair. Look at that sexy blonde bitch. That is white trash at its best, man. Bambi fucking Woods. I mean, you can't see anything on this shot. Now, either he's having trouble keeping his dick hard. Well, he is hard, but the angle is just, I mean, you really want to see him inside there like that. That's the shot you want right there. I love the cowgirl shot where the girl's on top of you, facing you. You see her ass move up and down on your dick. I just love that shot. I don't know why it's my favorite. Most directors, producers, they love reverse cowgirl so they can see the girl's face and tits. But I love both. I just love to see that ass sliding up and down my cock. It's the best. Right now, Bola is underneath her, with his eyes closed, saying, "Thank you, Lord. Thank you." This might be the happiest day of his life up until this point. What a sexy ass. I mean, could you imagine fucking a young Bambi Woods? Could you imagine seeing this movie back in the 70s and then having the opportunity to fuck this girl? Talk about a fantasy. This girl's so sexy. Look at that ass. Look at that. I love her back. Look at her grind. Oh, God. That little Dallas Cowboy fucking best. That is sexy shit with white boots, man. I'm sorry. Sexy shit. It's hot.
Come, baby.
From this movie on, her life would never be the same, Bambi. Some say she just escaped into another world. She really never spent much time in the business after this. But this is some claim to fame, man. This might be this guy's best cum shot of all time.
This is Red Right Dallas Special.
A touchdown for the whole audience. Good night, baby. So let's see if we could find my name in here. What? Oh yeah, I think I'm Mrs. Hardwick. David Sutton. Wow. Tim. Paul Hughes. So they named me Paul. That was one of my porn names, I guess, back in the day. As a matter of fact, I was the original Jack Black before Jack Black ever made his advent. And I should have stuck with that name. It was good, but I figured, what's the weirdest, most fucked up name I could come up with? Herschel Savage was it. It was a pleasure watching Debbie Does Dallas with my friends in the audience. Please come back and see it again. Take care.